Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, Vaz and Campbell headed to mediation over malicious remarks. Member of Parliament for Portland Western Darrell Vaz and the People's National Party General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell are set to explore mediation in an effort to amicably resolve a defamation lawsuit stemming from comments made on a political platform in July 2023. The Supreme Court ordered mediation following a case management hearing yesterday, when the matter adjourned until July 21 for continuation. Vaz, who also serves as the Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transportation, filed the claim in August 2023. He alleged that during the PNP's Clarendon Northwestern Annual Conference, Campbell made statements suggesting that Vaz lacks probity, moral integrity, and decency. According to the 9-page claim filed by Vaz's attorney, Campbell's remarks were motivated by malice and intended to damage Vaz's political, professional, social, and personal reputation. The deliberate and intended effect of the defendant's words was to lower the claimant in the estimation of right-thinking members of society, to humiliate the claimant and expose him to ridicule, contempt, and mockery, while asserting that the defendant no afraid of nobody, the claim stated. Vaz is seeking damages for defamation, including exemplary and aggravated damages, as well as an injunction to prevent Campbell from repeating the allegations. He is also requesting cost and any additional relief the court may deem appropriate. Campbell, however, has denied the allegations, arguing that his statements were fair comment. His defense was filed by attorney at law Sheena Stubbs Gibson on December 27, 2023, 4 months after the suit was initiated. The controversy extends beyond the Vaz, as the St. Thomas Western MP James Robertson and the former St. Ann Northwestern MP Othniel Lawrence have also filed similar lawsuits against Campbell over the same remarks. Stubbs Gibson revealed that an application to consolidate all 3 cases has been adjourned until June 13. Attorney at law Alexander Williams is representing Robertson, while Catherine Minto is acting on behalf of Vaz. Woman to be sentenced for acid attack that left the victim with severe burns and blind in one eye. Nicolene Gray, a 43-year-old pay clerk, is said to be sentenced on April 9 in the Home Circuit Court after pleading guilty to a brutal acid attack that left another woman blind in one eye and with severe burns. The attack, reportedly stemming from an alleged love triangle, occurred on a coaster bus in St. Andrew nearly 3 years ago. Gray, who also injured a male bus driver and a female passenger, pleaded guilty to 3 counts of causing grievous bodily harm with intent. She appeared dispirited in court, dressed in a black dress, as she entered her plea yesterday. The primary victim, whose partner Gray was allegedly involved with, suffered 3rd-degree burns to her face, shoulder, neck, chest, and back. The other victims sustained burns to their bodies from the corrosive substance. The attack took place on October 1, 2021, when Gray and the 3 victims were traveling on a bus headed to Halfway Tree. As the intended target signaled for a stop and turned to exit, Gray dosed her with the acidic substance. She continued the assault as the woman spun around, leaving her skin appearing to melt. The caustic liquid also injured the bus driver and the female passenger. Authorities later recovered a ketchup bottle containing the substance at the scene. Gray was arrested and charged that same day. Presiding over the case, Justice Leighton Pusey ordered a social inquiry report and requested Gray's criminal records. He also instructed Gray and her attorneys, John Clark and Sashika Richards, to decide quickly on potential compensation for the victims. Compensation is a factor and not a replacement for sentencing. It is a consideration. It doesn't mean that the court will not sentence you, Justice Pusey cautioned, emphasizing that the court would not delay sentencing indefinitely for compensation arrangements. Senior Deputy Director of Prosecutions Claudette Thompson, and the Crown Counsel, Deborah Bryan, represented the Crown. Blythe dismisses nationwide Blue Dot poll, confident of PNP victory in Westmoreland. Former People's National Party Vice President Dr. Carl Blythe, who served 4 terms as a Member of Parliament for Westmoreland Central, has rejected a recent nationwide Blue Dot poll suggesting that the ruling Jamaica Labour Party will reclaim Westmoreland in the next general election. The PNP's chances in Westmoreland at this time are very good. There is no if and or but about it, Blythe told the news on Friday. There has been a change, and the PNP supporters have forgiven us for whatever we did in the last 2 general election cycles. Blythe, who previously served as the Minister of Health under a PNP administration, expressed a confidence in a strong swing back to the party. I expect that we will do very well. We shouldn't have a problem, he declared. In the last general election, the JLP swept Westmoreland, once considered a safe PNP country. The PNP's 3 candidates, Dwayne Vaz Central, Dr. Wickham McNeil Western, and Luther Buchanan Eastern, were defeated by the JLP's George Wright, Morland Wilson, and Daniel Lawrence, respectively. However, Blythe believes the tide has turned following the PNP's strong showing in the February 26, 2024 local government elections, where the party won 11 of the 14 local government divisions in Westmoreland. I am on the ground with the candidates and the councillors, and the fact that in central Westmoreland we have regained our local government seats, losing only 1 by just 17 votes, shows we are in good shape, Blythe said. Since the 2020 general election, the PNP has refreshed its slate of candidates, replacing Buchanan and McNeil with General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell in Westmoreland Eastern and Vice President Ian Hills in Westmoreland Western. The nationwide Blue Dot poll, conducted between January 21 and February 1 among 1,500 registered voters across the nation's 63 constituencies, indicated the JLP is leading in 10 of the 14 parishes, including Westmoreland and the neighboring St. James. Blythe, however, dismissed the poll's findings. I think they need to go back on the ground. In St. James, that may be the case, but in Westmoreland, they are off. Whatever they are saying there doesn't make sense. He acknowledged the poll's assessment of PNP support in St. James, but argued that 2 key seats, Marlene Malahoo Ford's St. James West Central and Homer Davis's St. James Southern, are leaning heavily in the columns of the PNP. Blake to JFJ, focus on criminals not relevant. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake has rejected Jamaicans for Justice's criticisms over the high rate of fatal police shootings, arguing that the Reds group is misguided and is seeking relevance. In a video statement released on Friday, Blake said he strongly supports the view that the number of fatal shootings is too high, but insisted that the blame should be directed at the criminals who engage the security forces with a deadly force. The call is wrongly directed and they should be aiming at those who make the decision to challenge a far more superior force, said Blake, adding, I call upon JFJ to demonstrate to the public that your care is more for the well-being of our citizens and less for the relevance of your organization. The commissioner's comments come a day after JFJ issued a statement warning that Jamaica is at risk of reverting to the dark days when police accountability was weak. It pointed to 50 fatal police shootings up to February 20, a 163% increase over the 19 during the first 2 months of 2024. This represents an unacceptable and troubling trend that threatens Jamaica's democratic principles and human rights advancements, JFJ Executive Director Michael Jackson stated on Thursday. The organization also raised the concerns about the lack of body-worn camera footage in many of these fatal encounters. Blake, however, dismissed any suggestion that the Jamaica Constabulary Force is not being held accountable, arguing that every police shooting is subject to multiple layers of oversight, including immediate administrative review and investigations by the Independent Commission of Investigations, which probes police killings. He further rejected JFJ's stance that fatal encounters could be significantly reduced by increased police accountability and reforms. Instead, he pointed to the unwillingness of criminals to surrender peacefully as the primary reason for these deadly confrontations. To suggest that fatal shooting numbers can be reduced by anything other than the unwillingness of persons being apprehended to engage in deadly confrontation with members of the security forces is irresponsible, or at best advocating for us to relent in our pursuit, Blake argued. We again reiterate the point that those who seek to kill and maim will not be left free and unobstructed to hold communities at ransom and in constant fear. The commissioner stressed that there are many instances of suspects who chose not to fight and were arrested without incident. We have had well over 1,000 firearm-related arrests each year. Persons have had their day in court and have, in some instances, been freed of the charges against them. They have all lived to see another day simply because they chose not to direct deadly force against our members. Blake also pointed out that the police officers and the soldiers have been killed and seriously injured in confrontations, underscoring the dangers of law enforcement work. Regarding Indicom's concerns about the lack of body-worn camera footage, Blake denied the suggestion that the force is obstructing investigation. I'm concerned that the JFJ supports the idea that Indicom's investigation is being hampered because we do not have body-worn camera footage to present to them, even while they have more than 60% of what is required to complete an investigation. And this includes statements from our members who are involved, ballistic information, reports on the circumstances surrounding the case, and the primacy over the scene. Indicom has expressed a concern that the body-worn cameras were not being used in planned police operations. Blake insisted that the JCF would not back down in its fight against the violent criminals. We will continue to use our superior intelligence gathering capabilities. We will continue to utilize our superior investigative capacity. We will use our superior operational capabilities, and we will go out and confront those who seek to destabilize our communities by wielding the threat of violence and terror. Earlier this week, National Security Minister Dr. Harris Chang dismissed the concerns about extrajudicial police killings. Chang maintained that the JCF is now a more intelligence-driven organization that builds cases against the criminals before taking action against them. It's not a hit squad we have here. That's a thing of the past, Chang said. It's a structure that identifies individuals who are involved in criminal activities and build the files around them. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.